Hello everyone, I greet you in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Newton Silas, and today we are blessed to have J Boss with me in the studio. And today we have a very interesting topic to discuss with you, which says that the anger of Allah will fall on them. Whoa, I think that will be a very scary one and very interesting one. So until we get down to the video, before we can be able to understand what this video is all about. So guys, if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get down to the video, I'm actually a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion. This is basically for educational purposes. So guys, let's get down to the video. So we're listening, then we talk.
There is not a single calamity of any kind that ever strikes you in the earth nor inside of yourselves, except that it is in a book that we have already declared it in. That is certainly easy for Allah to do.
The volcano in Iceland that happened over 100 years ago that wiped out 1/5 of the population of Iceland. And he said at that time the central question of the Icelanders was, what have we done? He said that was what they were asking themselves, what have we done?
If Allah is going to punish a person, what they did to deserve that has to be really, really, really evil. It has to be really evil. Because we believe God is just, and we believe the punishment of God is fitting and deserving.
You were compared to the earth, like a seed that's planted in the earth and rain comes and it comes out. And that elaborate picture that's being painted, part of the ayah is about the earth and part of the ayah is about yourself. How reflection on the earth is going to make you think about yourself. In the very next ayat, he says, not a single calamity will strike you in the earth and not inside yourselves, except that Allah has decreed it.
Allazi khalaqal mauta wal hayata. It is Allah who has created death and life to test which of you is good in deeds. This life is a test for the hereafter. Allah is testing who is good and who is bad. Now, whenever any calamity takes place, in the Islamic Sharia, in the Islamic principle, if any calamity takes place, it can be two things. Either it is a test for the people or it's a punishment. For those people who are bad, who are disobeying Allah, it's a punishment. For the others, it's a test. To whom the test is taking place, the person may be good or bad. So it is either test or a punishment.
Whenever calamities confronted them, they would always ask themselves, these are people that are in touch with their fitrah, with their inherent nature. They would ask themselves, what have we done? And this is something that human beings have now completely forgotten. We have spiritual Alzheimer's.
We've forgotten who we are, who we belong to, where we've come from, where we're going, what we should be doing in the meantime. This is the state of humanity wherever you go.
You see corruption in unbelievable, unprecedented manners, things that really we haven't seen at this level.
So if you want to be a psychiatrist, a therapist, etc., you have to say, you're entitled to your feelings. If you're having that feeling, that must be a good thing. You should live by those feelings. And that's the only way you'll ever get happiness, is you do whatever you feel. Because of course, our constitution and our way of thinking is life, liberty, and the pursuit of what? The pursuit of happiness. You should be able to do what you want. I would argue, really? You should be able to do what you want? And people have feelings all the time. I feel like slapping people all the time. You know? How many crazy thoughts go through a teenage boy's mind? How many feelings go through his mind? You're saying he has a right to act on all of his feelings? There are no restraints? Isn't that the most insane worldview? You should be able to do whatever you feel like? If everybody started doing that, what would we be left with? We'd be left with utter chaos.
I was on the Arabian Peninsula with my family, walking on the beach, and I came upon people in a public beach having intercourse. In a public beach on the Arabian Peninsula. I'm not making this up. This is the level of facade. that is happening on our planet.
There are sometimes certain actions that we engage in that earn the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His anger and His curse and His punishment. And it is important that we realize that the Quran has addressed us as well as all mankind regarding the anger and wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The idea of that is for us to take heed. We must make sure we are not engaged in those type of deeds.
People have to wake up because this is a religion that calls people to wake up.
ومكروا مكرا ومكرنا مكرا وهم لا يشعرون فانظر كيف كان عاقبة مكرهم أنا دمرناهم وقومهم أجمعين فتلك بيوتهم خاوية بما ظلموا إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يعلمون وأنجينا الذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون ولوطا إذ قال لقومه أتأتون الفاحشة وأنتم تبصرون أئنكم لتأتون الرجال شهوة من دون النساء بل أنتم قوم تجهلون فما كان جواب قومه إلا أن قالوا أخرجوا آل لوط من قريتكم إنهم أناس يتطهرون فأنجيناه وأهله إلا امرأته قدرناها من الغابرين وأمطرنا عليهم مطرا فساء مطر المنذرين.
Well, that's a very interesting video. The anger of Allah will fall on them. This video was able to elaborate a lot about lives of human. We look at Iceland, what actually happened in Iceland. We look at the volcano that almost wiped them off. The video makes us to understand that over half of them died in the process. We went on to learn about Saudi Arabia. He was saying that when he was moving around the beach, this is what he saw. He saw people actually making love even on the broad daylight. This is the holy land of Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him. But this is what these have actually turned on to. And you know, it's not, he didn't feel comfortable though when he was actually narrating this. But then, let me point some few things actually in the Bible and also in the Quran that we can be able to understand that sometimes there are some things that we actually do that God is actually punishing us in a sense for what we are doing, and then they are not as tests. Let me use maybe one or two examples, right? Then maybe from there you continue with the rest. Okay, first we'll look at Sodom and Gomorrah, for instance. If we look at the kind of life that Sodom and Gomorrah choose for themselves, the kind of life they are living and all that, you got to realize that what God decided to just punish them. And that is why what is rained down fire and all that destroyed in the sense Sodom and Gomorrah, that end up in the sense destroying the life of the wife of Lot, who didn't want to follow what, here's the warning that God have actually given them. She chose to love the world, and then she didn't want to live, and then at the end of the day she got consumed in the process. You can look at such examples as what? The punishment of Allah. These are calamities that happen, but you got to realize that God decided to destroy them. What did they do? Because of they involved themselves what in sexual immorality, do all manner of things, marrying one another, man marrying man, woman married. This is exactly what has actually happened in our dispensation. And of course, the anger, we cannot avoid the anger of Allah. Of course, the anger of Allah will definitely, you understand, fall on us unless we change our mind and begin to do things in how God have actually commanded. That is one of the examples I want to set for things that the calamities God can kind of rain on human in form of punishment. Let's also look at another one in the Bible and also in the Quran. We could look at Job, for instance. If you look at what actually happened to Job, you got to realize that it was a test. So it means that something can kind of happen to you in your life. It's not that because you have done anything wrong, but maybe God is trying to test you to be able to like see your ability to understand your capability. You get it? So God can kind of allow some things to happen to you. Then you begin to ask questions if God have forsaken you. Because the Bible makes us to understand, and also same thing with the Quran, it makes us to understand that when the Son of Man we are giving report in heaven, what happened? The devil was also there with them, and then God asked him, did you see my servant Job?
Yes.
And then from there, in a sense, he was able to give him that power for him to, but God wanted not to take his life. But what did the devil do? He kills, in a sense, his children, properties, everything he has. He take it away from him. But at the end of the day, he was able to give even more than what, in a sense, he was having. But then let's look at it. This to the point that his wife was even telling him that word. Why don't you just curse God and die? Because she was with him. She was actually seeing him go through some kind of certain pain that she just feels like it's not better for him to just, just curse God and just die than to be in this kind of situation. So this kind of things, it means that it's also applicable to you and I. Yeah. We can kind of be in some kind of situation and a lot of things will be happening to you, and you'll be asking yourself to whether maybe because you have done something wrong. Sometimes it's a test. So guys, let's also listen to J Boss. I know you have a lot of in your stock, so we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm not far from the truth. So
yeah.
What I would like to add is, was this the message that has been passed on through this video is actually very straightforward. Like, if we are to continue with our sin, our day-to-day sin, and God choose to bring like His wrath upon us, we humans, I don't
means we cannot survive.
We won't be able to survive.
Yeah, we can't survive it.
That's just the basic truth. We won't be able to survive. And when you look at the day-to-day activity that is going on across the globe, you understand that the world is changing gradually. When I say changing gradually, you say like what you just said. Like I just said, you are not far from the truth. Men marrying men, women marrying women, sexual immorality and the rest, everything. But right now, the only way for us to avoid that wrath of God is to seek
His face.
Seek His face. And have mercy, like pray to Allah to give you mercy. Because every day, once you wake up, you are waking up into sin already. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to create balance ourselves, not for the world. Yes, every human is supposed to create balance for itself. You understand? So the message is very clear, and for what I can say, if God chooses to bring the wrath of heaven on earth, how many people will be able to make heaven?
None. If not for grace.
If not for grace, you understand? Like a lot of people will perish. So that's why it's saying, do you want free will? Sometimes this calamity that's happening all over the globe, like things are happening in Iceland, like what the video just said, tornado, you see tornado happening currently. Sometimes it's not actually what the society, like the government or the soil or natural disaster. It's God that is trying to punish that nation.
Yes, it's true.
God is trying to punish that nation. Like they have turned back
from God.
Yeah, they have turned back from God. So God is trying to test them, like He's giving them warning, because that is not His judgment. He's just giving them punishment. Like until you change your ways, your city or your country will never know what peace. You understand? So that's what I know about this video.
That was just very, very interesting one from J Boss. In fact, when he was saying that when these calamities kind of happen to people, it's just a warning. This is a warning for the judgment day. Because if you look at it, you got to realize that after the calamity, a lot of people lose their lives, right? And we all believe, in all the religion believe that at judgment day, God is going to resurrect even the dead. That's when they will not face. So it means like whatever they have done on this earth, that they have even died in the process. it means that after resurrection they still have another one they'll face, which makes it very severe and very bad. A situation that I would not like to be, a situation where J-Boss would not like to be, a situation where you that is watching us will not like to be. So guys, this is the end of our video. If you like our reaction, you should like, share and subscribe. And if you have any video you want us to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and we're gonna check it out. So guys, remain blessed. Bye bye.